How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today I've got a bit of a quick, simple kind of throwaway mission, really. I was messing around trying to finish off Lost Cargo with a Derry special and a few other bits and bobs. I was kind of running out of time. I'll explain in a minute. Yeah, so I'm going to do this mission on Albany River called Delivery from the Port. It's pretty damn simple. There's already a trailer there as well, like a 2-slot sideboard trailer. It's got 2 lots of cement in it. You've got to grab that, take it and down to a house, and that's it, drop it off. In the end, part of the reason I went for this mission, there's a little bit of off-roading on the last bit, and that's the house you've got to take it to. As I was looking through, it was kind of a good excuse to actually get this truck out, because I've not really had many reasons to, and I've not really used it much, to be honest. I think I still need to do the gameplay and review on this. I waited originally, because when they first released these trucks, they weren't very good. This didn't have all-wheel drive, some of the other ones didn't have diffs, and they were talking about adding them, so now they haven't that, and yeah, it's one of them, I never really got round to it. But tonight was just a good little chance to test it out, really, so I got it set up, put it on off-road tyres. I think it was the UOD 2s, which I've heard are pretty good. Yeah, obviously it's not got muds or anything like that, but it's pretty much like a highway truck, basically. It's not got a hell of a lot going in the off-road department. I do believe, though, it did have raised suspension. And like I say, now it's got all-wheel drive, which is nice, because you can just permanently put it on. Yeah, that makes a big difference, because at least the front can claw its way out. As I went along here, by the way, look, it's such a nice little drift, connected back to the road, and then it just understeered. I was like, gutted. Would have been so nice to catch it and get it on the drifting across the bridge. I'd edited it out there, because there's a few times I ended up attempting this mission. When I just drifted there, I then reversed and tried to drift it again. It didn't go too well. Then I came back again and hit the wall or something, so I ended up recovering the truck. That was a nice little drift onto the bridge. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I sort of noticed for this truck. I like it, to be honest. One, I like the look of it. Two, I like the paint job on it. I like the amount of power and everything it's got. It's obviously, because it is basically a highway truck, it's going to have pretty limited use. But there is something I like about it. It goes a bit mad in this game, because you sort of get the, once you get up high in the gears, just the way the game works with, like, when you're going at high speed, it starts to float around like a maniac. This one's going to suffer from that quite a lot, because it's sort of a highway-only vehicle, really. But yeah, in the end, that's why I kind of went for this mission, because the last little bit of this, I've got to do some off-road driving. So it was just to see if this thing actually can handle it. But obviously, I wouldn't really go for like a full-on massive off-roading mission where you got to take this. You can have a few add-ons. You got, I think it was a saddle low and saddle high, and a crane as well, and the long logs, the carriage front thing of that as well, so you can do logging with it. Yes, that was the trailer you got to grab. Like I said, don't even have to bring your own. And then yeah, down here to this house. And yeah, the missions I was doing Lost Cargo, and I'm really not sure what to do. That's why I kind of was umming and ahhing in the end. The Derry special is horrifically slow. So if I edit the video for Lost Cargo, it's going to end up being a pretty bloody long video. And then what I actually did was, I started the mission called A Hurtful Loss or something. You have to go and rescue like a Lodestar 1700 from the Burned Forest map and take it somewhere on that map. And I drove all the way from Albany River Garage to the gateway to Burned Forest in a Dan and Lo4f, because I was kind of curious myself to see, like, is the Derry special really this horrifically slow, or is it just the way this map's kind of coded and panned out? If it's like got a advanced special gearbox, it's just sort of a slower set. But when I fly around here, by the way, you can see overcooked it, the trailer drifted, and the sideboard tried to save them, but it one tipped out, so I could have done with that crane in the end. So I restarted, went back again, and this is like another go at it. Yeah, and it turns out Dan was definitely quicker than the Derry to get like from the garage to the gateway. And yeah, and then I kind of felt like I was wasting. Dan's a pretty good off-roading truck, so the mission just to rescue a Lodestar felt like a little bit of a waste for a truck like that. So then I sort of aborted that mission, and then yeah, I was basically running out of time. That's why I sort of grabbed this mission in the end. But like I said, I've said it for the last week or two, I have been trying to find a sort of excuse to use this truck. I did a mission the other week, I can't remember what it's called now, but it was actually would have been a good mission to use this, and it just never even entered my head, and I ended up using something else. Give it a little less beans around the corner this time. Funnily enough though, what I did for what it's worth, I don't really think you actually need cement on any other missions on this map, I suppose. But I did crash the trailer, tip the cargo out, and then obviously when I restarted the mission, it's refreshed the trailer, but it left the 2 cement there, so that is a theoretical way to duplicate that, but yeah, off the top of my head, I don't actually know if there's anything where we like really need it. By the way, when I set off from the garage, I was towing the loaf behind me. The reason I was doing that, well, one, because it's a goddamn horse of a vehicle, and I like taking the loaf with me. But it was also because I kind of knew this thing was going to wind up to high speed, and then, you know, just start doing the thing where it skids around because it's going too fast. And it's one of them. I mean, you could just go down to the off-road gearbox, I suppose, would probably make sense as well. But if you did have the high-range gearbox, towing the loaf behind you, you can still mash your way through the gears and climb up the speed a bit, but generally speaking, it provides enough resistance where it kind of settles the mechanics down a bit, if you know what I mean, and you start driving a little bit more sanely. Like, yeah, the mechanics of the game when you get up to high speed in this are a little bit quirky. You just suddenly take off, a bit like the Jeff Special thing going. Yeah, so towing the loaf did actually kind of balance the whole system out in a way. But then now, this is one of the few bits of road where it does actually let you get up to like 8th gear and that. But you see, I cut the loaf loose now, and it's not like I absolutely fire off up to speed, but again, I'm mashing the L1 I think a bit, because yeah, you can get up into 8th gear down here, and then you hit this mud and it just goes horrifically slow. All vehicles have been. But yeah, testing with the Derry, it's just painfully slow. I might even do a video. I was planning on it tonight, but I just wasted too much time messing around. I need to come up with like a little course or something maybe, and take the Derry Special around, and then maybe a few others like the Club, Dan, a few others with the Advanced Special Gearbox that in theory should go at roughly the same speed. But yeah, how quick I managed to get Dan from the garage to the gateway was definitely just quicker and smoother than that Derry. And then just trying to pull the Derry up this really steep hill on Burned Forest. It was a hill I went up on the exploration video, but I was trying to get up there with cargo and a ramped flatbed this time. And yeah, it was a bit of a fight to say the least. I had to get the old loaf on the job, and it just took me a lot longer. I was just out of pure stubbornness. I knew full well it would have been a lot easier to just reverse a little bit down the hill and follow the road round, but yeah, just from sheer stubbornness and just wanting to see if I could actually get it done, I yeah, got up there, but a complete waste of fuel, time and all the rest of it, and like I said, I just ended up eating my night away a little bit. You can see though, with this vehicle, to its credit, it's actually not that bad on like doing off-roading. I certainly wouldn't want to take like a big fat trailer, but even these like rivery bits, it's funny, because it's a highway vehicle, they often give it a bit of a power bonus, where it's like, it's really powerful on the road and all that, but obviously it's going to get stuck pretty quick off-roading. But I don't know, this actually feels like it's got a decent amount of power, considering how much they keep feeling like they nerf things these days. And yeah, it's clawing through this dirt and stuff a lot better than I thought. I mean, again, clearly the all-wheel drive's made a world of difference. If I turned that off, I think, yeah, it'd sort of be like night and day, really. But yeah, there probably actually is another couple of missions where it might, I might have to take this out for another run on like a slightly more off-road centered mission and see how it does with that, because yeah, I was actually quite impressed. I managed to stay in high gear and all that for most of it, maybe a little bit of auto through those sloppy bits of mud, but that was a pretty respectable effort. And then yeah, you get here, drop the 2 cargo off, and then that's it. As a reward, I mean, the payout is only like 3,500 or something, but strictly speaking, you do get a free trailer, so if you just started this game and you end up coming straight to this phase, it's actually a handy mission to do if you've not done any like mod money cheats. Yeah, you could sell that, and there's like 10 grand for a pretty simple mission. But yeah, like I said, it was a bit of a quick one because I've just been messing around. But yeah, that's about it for today though. I hope you enjoyed, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, thanks to my Patreon members. Get yourself a loaf because he's a goddamn horse, and I'll be back soon.